guys the old one that has reverse and nothing else. Here we have so we're going to go ahead and start transferring everything. Sensor's broken, so we're going to get it off mine. I'm just going to go ahead and transfer all of these sensors from the other transmission, just because I think this is a s14 transmission. So looking at it now, this is an s14 transmission. So we're going to convert everything over. Got my speed sensor there. so got that cleaned. So now we're gonna silicone it and put it together. I'm gonna show you how the correct amount of silicone will work and not be picking it out of the sides and stuff. It just looks all nasty. We want it to look professional, right? We want it to look good. Like we actually know something, right? We're not just doing this for the first time. We want to make sure this looks good, not just globbing it everywhere. And between the two transmissions, how are people constantly breaking these bolts? Why is there always missing? Luckily I had two originals that go to this, and hopefully I have original bolts and not just something from Lowe's. That's kind of one of my pet peeves. Is I understand if it's a hard part, you just need to tide yourself over, but damn, how do you lose these? How do these go missing? How do you break these on this transmission? How do you break that? How do you strip that out? Like, come on guys, pay attention. I mean, S13 stuff's getting rare. This is an s14 trans, not an s13, because I can't find an s13 trans. So, I'll show you the correct amount of silicone. Go ahead and get all your bolts ready, which I'm about to do right now. Get all the shit off of them. Alright, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I have to reuse one of these Lowe's bolts. Oh well. So, I got those ready. I personally love this stuff. I use this stuff on everything. For me, I've had the best experience with Ultra Gray. I also recommend Ultra Black. I have seen firsthand and experience from personal use Ultra Red or High Heat Red. Don't waste your money on it. And plus, it looks like you've been there. No factory car component looks like red. They don't use red silicone. Nissan uses gray. They've been using it since these cars. Toyota uses gray. Chrysler uses gray. General Motors, they all use the gray silicone. So it may not be this exact stuff, but if you go back with it, it just looks like it's clean and it's original. Especially if you do a good job, you don't blob it all on, which I'm about to show you how to do, and make sure it looks clean and factory like it's never been touched. And I mean, if you want to coordinate your silicone with the color of your engine, you got a red car and you want red silicone, go ahead, man. I've seen that stuff leak so bad. Put this mess on. I don't glob it on. I just put it on my finger and I'll start rubbing it in place. And there you have it. Your shifter and your transmission is just about ready to put in. Put in the throwout bearing. Well, actually, we're not. But the next step would be put the throwout bearing in. Put your clutch pressure plate in. And torque all that down with red Loctite. Put your transmission in. We're not done here. So I'm actually going to clean this thing up a little bit. I'm going to power wash it, get it all cleaned up. So I went ahead and done the shifter and the output shaft adapter. We're going to power wash this thing, get it cleaned up, look brand new, probably put a coat of paint on it. But at the end of the day, as far as silicone goes, you know what I recommend, you know what I use, ultra gray or ultra black. Ultra gray is my go-to. Got like 4 tubes of it in there. I know people are going to comment, oh, well, you can, I've used red, this, that, and the other. Hey, you do whatever you want to do. I'm just saying what I recommend and what I firsthand experienced, and I know what the factory uses. Not potentially in this application, because they use a gasket that's in some places still on this one. They didn't even take the whole gasket off, they just siliconed over it. That's good. That's real good. But you don't have to use a gasket. I chose not to. As you see, it'll be just fine. They use black, a lot, like way too much black. I like to make sure my work looks like I've never been in this transmission. I like it to look like I've never touched the car. Or I want it to look factory. I want it to look like it had never been touched. It is all original. Perception's reality sometimes. If it looks like it's all original, but it's not, that just makes you feel good, right? So, at the end of the day, use whatever silicone you want to use. If you're not sure, call a Nissan dealer. They'll tell you what they use. Same stuff I just used. But ultra red and the blue stuff, it's like $2 a tube, whereas this stuff's almost $5. Black's nearly $4. You can get a tube of red. Hell, I can get a whole caulking gun tube of red for like $7. That's why everybody uses it. It's cheap. But use whatever you want to use. Have a great day. last night after putting the wheels back on, putting the diff in, putting the brakes back in. Clean up the garage a little bit. There's the tranny. I already got the mount and bracket on. It's already red Loctite it and tore it down. So we're going to go ahead and attempt to put this transmission in by myself. Not sure how that's going to go. Might have to have the wife come out and help me a little bit this morning. And then we're going to finish putting this thing back together. But
I'm in love with you. I'm in love with you.
so looking at this, this potentially could be the factory Nissan clutch. Look at that. That's pretty crazy if it is. It's pretty crazy. So remember we were talking about silicone the other day and how certain kinds of silicone are designed for certain things? Well, here's a case of the wrong silicone in the wrong place. That's blue water pump silicone for water pump, thermostat housing, stuff like that. This is what's on the oil pan. And oh my god, did they do a bad job. I mean, it's just, probably can't see that, but it's just globbed up everywhere. So yeah, that sucks.
Beat.com.
Alright, so we got a problem. So, there's a broken dowel. You see how it lines up there? Doesn't line up at all right there. Doesn't line up at all. Well, perfectly lines up there. Cheap, shitty one-off Chinese freaking bullshit. I really don't want to use this pressure plate. But it looks like I might have to. It's just so, ugh, to eat up. Alright, I'm tired of messing around with this thing. Oh, is she gonna fit now? Alright, so give a little bit of an update. Got the transmission in, got the motor mounts, transmission mounts tight. You can see her back there. So, got the drive shaft partially in. Got to put the shifter back in. Put the drive shaft in, fill it up with fluid. And then we're going to make sure all the gears work like they should and the engine still runs. So I kind of skipped ahead a little bit. My neighbor's out mowing my grass for me, and don't worry, I pay him. And so I didn't want to try and talk over his lawnmower. So we got the coolant fan, the fan shroud in. It's all in there. Radiators mocked up. It's basically just how I have it right now. So I'm trying to get it to run, make sure everything still runs right with a bunch of the stuff that I've messed with so far on this car. So, fan does not hit the shroud. I really wanted to retain stock fan shroud as much as possible because I just don't have coolant fans right now, electric ones. I really kind of don't want to run them either. But anyway, so I got the power steering belt on. Basically, just how to do that. Just loosen this bolt here, keep loosening, and eventually it'll start moving. I personally use impacts, makes it quicker and easier that way. Loosen the pulley, tighten the pulley. And that's how you get tension on your power steering / water pump belt. So, also got the transmission in, as you can see. Seems a little higher than it was, but transmission mount was fucked. So we're gonna fill it with fluid real quick. I'll show you how to do that. Alright, when you're filling your transmission, this is your fill plug. There's more than one way to fill it. You can take a rubber hose, go all the way down here, put it through the hole, fill up so it starts to pour out. Make sure you got a drain pan underneath. I have one. Just going to take this plug out. I'm going to show you a different way. Just go straight through where the shifter goes. This should already be loose. Yes, it is. So here's a little bit of the fluids that I bought, and I'm going to explain a little bit in vague detail why I chose these fluids. And so here we go. So first thing I'm going to use synchro mesh. It's good for manual transmissions, good for anything that needs GL3 style fluid and greater. It's good for your synchros. Now I have this synthetic 7590, which is really what you need. Trans and diff, no friction modifier, and 7589 is the weight you need. The store only didn't have any of this. This is actually GL5 equivalent. Then I have regular conventional 8090, regular 85 140. You may ask me why the three different weights. This is all they had. The only store in North Carolina, Jacksonville. This is all they had, one of each bottle. This is like $60 in fluid right here. It's like doing a full synthetic oil change with a K&N filter. So I had to get the iPhone. So we're gonna go ahead and put the Pennzoil synchro mesh in there. Excuse my Honda seats that someone put in here. Me. So obviously the shifter goes there. There's nothing down there. So let's go ahead and start pouring this mess in. Now we're going to do the Lucas 8090 conventional. So I really don't want to put the synthetic. Just couldn't get clearance on how much I was going to need this transmission. So. Now we're going to do the 85 140. Probably the 75 W90 synthetic.
Alright, so after that, it's leaking.
Alright, so when you're filling your transmission,